Park Lodge Hotel Group is a proud sponsor of Style and Glamour by Yolanda.
Welcome to Style and Glamour with Yolanda. Today's a day that you're going to have a lot of style in your life because today with us we have an image consultant, a wonderful lady who has been in the business for a long time, guiding you into empowering you to have a great lifestyle by picking the right outfits and wearing the right clothes. With us today is Doreen Dove, image consultant. Welcome, Doreen. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me, Yolanda.
Tell us a little bit about going back. You've been doing this for so many years, but you started as a teenager, actually.
I did. I started at Ann Taylor at 15 as a model in the window in the old days when storefronts used to actually be open. I stayed with them all through high school, all through Boston College, and then beyond. So I learned from the best.
They gave a lot of personal service, and you were there all the time working.
Totally about personal service, customer-oriented, just start to finish, helping women look good and feel good.
Now, you know, that's kind of a lost thing today because you go into stores, you can't even find a sales girl. So this is why someone would hire you to make sure they can kind of bring out the best in them.
Right. I hear all the time that shopping is painful. They don't know where to go. There's too many stores, too many options, too many price points, and no help. So I help guide them to, you know, what they need to buy and what looks good and at what price point.
So they can contact you and you can interview them on the phone.
Right. My services start with initial free consultation.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody contacts me and right away they get an online questionnaire, very easy to fill out,
mm-hmm.
and that helps to get us on the same page. And then we'll engage in a 30-minute phone consult. A lot of times they'll send me a selfie photo as well as pictures of their closet so we can see where the problem is coming from. And by the time somebody hires me, we know each other pretty well. I know what they need.
Even if they're in another state?
Even if they're in another state. The beauty of Skyping and whatnot, we'll have conversations. We'll talk about their sizes, their body proportions, what their percentage of work clothes versus casual clothes, what they struggle with, foot problems, hip problems, whatever it is.
And lifestyle is important, right? I think their lifestyle, if they're an attorney, they're looking for one type of their professors. They could be an average, just American housewife that wants to look her best.
Correct.
And you even start with young teenagers in college.
I do. I speak at several colleges. I speak at Wellesley and Boston University to graduating teens, helping them figure out how to build a wardrobe out of that college garb that they've been living in.
Yeah, tell us about that college garb. We were talking about that earlier. It seems to be a trend.
Those black stretch pants and jeans with holes and all of that. I mean, the girls need to know. They need to know that there's a budget that they have to work within, and they need to buy the wardrobe essentials, whether it's the black pant, the navy pant, the white shirt, the blazer, a skirt, a pump, you know, and I break it down. I actually give them a PowerPoint and a budget within to work, and they know what to look for, which is important because it's overwhelming. They think, oh, how am I going to change? And it's not that complicated.
I know, but you see so many of the young girls today with these very short, stretchy dresses that look like they're an elastic stocking, and it just barely covers anything.
Well, we talk about that.
Yeah, that's pretty tough, right?
We fix that.
You fix that.
We do. We talk about. I also work with, you know, a lot of nonprofits. I work with Jermaine Lawrence, which is a residential facility for teens at risk, and we talk about know your body, like your body, and then dress your body. And know your body means you need to know what you're working with. Are you petite? Are you regular? Are you tall? Where do you carry your weight? Extra on top, bigger on the bottom, extra in the middle, curvy, not curvy. Let's define it first. And that's what I help all women do, whether they're, you know, girls in 15 years old or women 70 years old.
And it's such a necessary thing today. I mean, everyone is so busy working and keeping their lifestyle all together. To have an image consultant work with them and be able to search it all out and then meet with them, it's It's fantastic.
It's very empowering. I mean, my mantra is I empower women with, the ability to use style as a tool to take strategic control of their image. And so that's how we get to the closet part, because if you have a shed with no tools, you can't create the product.
Okay.
So if you have a closet that is inadequate with the wardrobe essentials or too much of the wrong thing, you can't create the image that you need to create. And like you said, whatever it's for, whether it's for the office, whether it's for the soccer field, whether it's you're an empty nester now and you're going to start a new business, it's all about your image.
Now, you created something recently you just told me about that I was so impressed with, that you can now do everything for them, and they have their own little kind of visual...
Right, it's an electronic lookbook.
Okay.
What I've done is, in the service part of it, a lot of times I will start with your closet.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure out what's good and why, what's not good and why not, what should be donated, what could be tailored so that it fits you better, and then we'll figure out what's missing. So then we might have a shopping trip, either together or I shop for them. But then they also struggle with, well, how do I put it all together? You look so fabulous. How did you know that went with that, went with that?
Right.
So what I do is I'll come into their home and I'll photograph 40 to 50 outfits, complete with necklace, shoes, scarf, the whole look, photograph them, download them into the software program that's personal between the client and myself, complete with comments, such things as swap out those black pants for those fabulous dark wash jeans for your casual look. And what that does for them, it shows them, it's like, we call it a wardrobe discovery, because we know most women only wear 20% of what's in their closet.
Always. You have this closet crammed with stuff, and they're reaching for the same things every day.
Dark spaces where they're keeping the cake platter. Who knows what's in there? But no, part of it is, let's know what's in there. Your closet should be an intuitive source of joy.
Right.
I tell them they should be able to reach in, and anything that they take out fits fabulous and it makes them feel pretty. Otherwise, it's a waste of real estate.
Well, I think you're right. They'll see a lot of things don't fit, so you keep reaching for the same thing that you're comfortable in, fits, and everything else stays in there for years and years, and you never get rid of it.
Years and years. I might be that size again.
I might be that size
Let's
again.
just move on. You need to embrace life today and look fabulous every day.
That's amazing to hear and think that you can do all of this just by just sending an image and having this woman know what her wardrobe's going to be for the next few weeks.
Right. You just give me a day with you and I can transform.
Now, like you said, there's so many body shapes. No, everyone's looking for the perfect. There's no perfect body shape. And when you analyze it and you look at the fact that there are so many women that probably are very full on top and narrow on the bottom, or vice versa, they need someone like you to guide them to balance that whole look.
Right, and by pointing out, it's not rocket science, but there is a science to style. And by pointing out the basics and saying to someone, look, you carry your weight on the top, you're bigger on top, we need to balance that. Let's talk about a bra fitting. That's necessary discussion that we need to have. Let's talk about balancing out the top of your body with the bottom of your body. Maybe instead of a skinny jean, you wear a bootcut jean, so you're adding a little balance. Same thing for maybe a woman that's bigger on the bottom. We add a little volume to the top. Give her a little bit of shoulder pad, give her some texture and some shine on top, so that when she walks into the room, everybody's seeing the beautiful face and the beautiful hair. The women...
So you're playing up this portion.
I accentuate the assets and I disguise the liabilities.
Oh, that's a great expression.
So I get women to really, like I say, know their body and like their body.
Now, you and I go back a long way.
Just a few decades.
A few decades. Yeah. But tell me a little bit about when we first met.
Well, I knew about you. Everybody knew Yolanda for everything fabulous that you did, and I was bringing my mom in to get a mother of the bride dress. And actually, I have this little prop here. There was Yolanda off in the distance helping somebody else look fabulous, and you had these earrings on. And I remember saying to the sales girl, those are fabulous. And she went over and said something to you, and you immediately took them off and said, here you go. And I couldn't believe it. And that was it. You didn't want anything in return. It was just an amazing interaction, and by the way, they looked fabulous with my wedding dress.
And you're still wearing them.
I still have them. So,
That's great.
So yeah, that was a good
But no, we both
Yolanda story.
enjoyed having women feel good. I think one of the things you said to me that made me very happy was, you think about at the end of the day how happy you are that you've made someone really feel good about themselves, and they don't maybe not have a great image of themselves, but when you finish, you've empowered them to create
Totally,
this image.
and it could be anybody, and for any reason. Like I said, I've got, we'll see later in the show, we've got some of those photographs that will show of before and afters, and I show two women that the before picture and the after picture, there's only about 30 minutes in between. They came in one outfit, and it was either drab or ill-fitting, or they needed a bra fitting, and then just by being in the dressing room and putting them in a few different things that, as you know, you put many women in things that they never would have thought they looked good, and then they looked fabulous. And put it on, and they're, oh my God, this looks fabulous, look how it fits. Wow, you're right, I do have some assets to work with. So, I mean, some simple things can really change it for a lot of women. And unfortunately, a lot of women are repeat buyers. And when I do a closet edit, that becomes pretty obvious when I pull out all their Mr. Rogers sweaters, you know, they're just wearing cardigans. And I show them, stop buying the same thing over and over. There's sweaters now that have detailing and embroidery and all sorts of things. So
glitz and glitter.
show them the possibilities, and most women will run with it.
I know, you know, it's so amazing because years ago I found a lot of women were so afraid of the glitz, and now it's out there with day wear or whatever. There's glitz on everything, even exercise wear. But I remember, you know, oh, I couldn't wear that. That's too shiny, or I'm going to call too much attention. I remember a woman who I felt she'd look great in hats. She had a great hat face, and she just never wore one because none of her friends did. And when she wore it, she came back to me and she started wearing hats all the time because she realized, you know, it's like you getting them into things, and you're getting them into all these wonderful things. Right.
And the other thing is I help them to define what's on trend that works for them.
Right.
So many women, they're intimidated by style magazines. Oh, what am I going to, everybody is a size 2, it's got nothing in there for me.
Exactly.
And so I have this, this little challenge that I give them. I give them a stack of Post-it notes, and it's called the Post-it style. And I want them to go through each page and look at the page and say something about that page that they like. It might be a shiny shoe, it might be a hoop earring, it might be a bag that's color blocking. And by the time they finish, that magazine is chocked full of Post-it notes of things that they liked. And it's not necessarily that they are going to wear that particular item, but it's got them thinking about, wow, there's some possibilities out there. Yes, I'd like a little glitz, but I'm not going to go full-on blouse, but I can add it to you know, a pin or an earring or something. So I tell them, take the trends that are out there and define them for yourself. Use what part of it you're comfortable with.
You also help them a lot with scarves. Women buy tons of scarves and they don't know what to do with them. They just hang it around their neck, and there's so many ways to tie.
Well, nowadays, some of the scarves are so big they could cover the Statue of Liberty. So women, in fact, don't know what to do with them. So I also encourage them to try and go smaller with some, you know, lighter fabrics, and do the knotting. And they can always be ironed if you've made them wrinkled. Just knot them up and you know, play with them so that they're managed.
And the other thing I think that I think about all the time is women today, more so than ever before, are so busy with their job and their family, and they've got to look their best, and they have to go from day to evening, from the office, from their day wear to the evening wear. And you create that for them with no effort.
With no
teach
effort.
them.
Well, one of the things that I do is, once we've defined, you know, where they are in their wardrobe, I help them, and they're called wardrobe essentials, which is pretty much what I'm wearing here. Pair of black pants, we all own that. Some sort of black top. So I've jazzed it up today because I'm here with Yolanda.
I love it.
So I've got something like that. But this jacket could then be swapped out for the corporate, very conservative jacket. Swap out my glitzy necklace for something a little more office appropriate. But it comes back down to the same wardrobe essentials. So when I work with women, I want to make sure they have those in their closet. The dark wash jean, the black trouser, the basic blazers, good pair of shoes, good pair of pumps. It can come down to like maybe 20 things, and a woman could get dressed, as you know, with 20 things endless times.
Without cramming a closet.
Without cramming a closet.
And then complaining that I have nothing to wear while the closet is bulging.
That's right, that's right. One of the things when I take women shopping, I fill 2 dressing rooms. So I pre-shop for an hour.
So you pre-shop before you get with them?
Correct.
Okay.
And by the time they get there, they walk in and I open the dressing room. And obviously we've already spoken about the fact that I already know them through my free consult and the questionnaire and the phone conversations, gone back a few times, a few photographs. But if they're looking for that great fitting black pair of pants, because they already have 12 at home in their closet that they're not
that don't fit well or outdated,
something about them, I'll have maybe 10 or 12 pair in there from different vendors, different fits, petite, regular, high rise, low rise. As you know, the choices are endless. But if a woman had gone in to shop for herself for that pair of black pants, she would have maybe gathered 3 or 4 and then been frustrated because the level of help isn't really there. She didn't know what to do, which size. I'll do things like if women are a little extra in the middle, we find trousers without side pockets. We don't need those side pockets anymore.
You're not going to use them anyway.
No. There's no phone booths anymore. We don't need change. Or she hasn't worn a belt in 15 years because she's extra in the middle. Why are we buying trousers with belt loops? There are options out there without belt loops. So all those little details make a finely tailored woman.
And she doesn't get overwhelmed because when she goes into a store by herself, she's overwhelming. You see all these things.
Right, and she doesn't know where to gather, and now she's in the dressing room and it doesn't fit, and then there's nobody to help her, and then she doesn't know where to go to look for it.
So you've got the sizes, you've got the selection.
I've got the sizes and the selection.
And then she starts to put them on and realizes how great her body can look.
Right. And then, of course, if you're in a fine store, we have the tailoring done at the same time. So
how wonderful is that?
It's a complete transformation.
Total.
Oh,
that's
fabulous.
Now, you've won tons of awards, and I know Innovative Woman had just given you a great award for being so innovative in everything you do. So tell us a little bit about those awards.
Well, I was featured in Boston edition of Crave magazine, which features 50 Boston area entrepreneurs. And then the Today's Innovative Women Award was terrific because that was on a national level. And I received that as Visionary Entrepreneur. And people voted on that. And the reason that I got the Visionary Award is because, like I mentioned a little while ago, give me a day and I can transform it all for you. Let's fix the things that are fixable. And you can really tell when a woman walks in a room, her level of confidence. You know, if she walks in and she's loud and proud, she's different than a woman that might come in and be the wallflower in the back. And you don't know why she's that wallflower. It may be what her wardrobe is about, or her self-confidence, or she just doesn't know where to begin. I
think a lot of it's confidence. I just don't think, like I said, they don't have the confidence to do something or dare to be a little different.
Right, or know where to begin, where to start. So that's what I do. I take it from A to Z. Let's just get it all out there. Let's figure out, like I say, what's in your closet that's limiting you. What's your budget? I can make a woman look fabulous at Target.
Well, I think that's what's so wonderful, that, you know, when people are shopping, there are so many expensive things out there, and there's a lot of things that are not so expensive, but they're just not appealing. But you zero in because now you find what she wants for budget, and you search it out. So you do all the legwork. You do.
Well, the misnomer about image consultants is they think that we are dressing the rich and famous, and we always have to be fabulous.
I'm glad you're saying that.
I don't have the money for that. You can hire me for the price of a good pair of jeans. Let's just get it right. Let's figure out what you need, what's your lifestyle, you know, and where we're going to go to find it.
Well, that's the whole key now, because you're out on the market all the time. The other thing is your hours. I mean, I know for busy executives, you're able to meet them on weekends.
I do. I have a lot of corporate women
that just don't have the time.
They don't have the time.
Yeah.
And so I meet them on the weekend. And I have a lot of women that I'll do the closet edit without them even being there. And they'll come home and they'll go, oh my God. It's amazing. You know, we change out the hangers. I use all those lovely skinny hangers. And, you know, the closet then has all of her sleeveless blouses, her short sleeve, long sleeve blouses, and then this big category of wovens of all these shirts that need to be ironed that nobody irons anymore. So I teach them, you're not wearing those shirts anymore because they're too labor intensive.
Right.
Why are you buying them? if you need a fabulous white classic
A great
crisp
blouse.
shirt,
Right.
let's go to Brooks Brothers. In one shirt, it can be regular, it can be tall, it can be petite.
So they do all of that.
in one
Brooks.
shirt.
I didn't realize
It can
that.
be classic, it can be fitted, it can be tailored. So there's 6 options for one, and it's no iron.
Oh, I love that part. The
So,
best.
but see, some of this is just information that's been in here forever.
Right.
Like you know, we've been doing this for decades, and that's what I share with women. I don't want to just make you look good once for an event. I want to empower you with the knowledge and the tools to then go forward and do it yourself.
Yeah, I think that's what people do. The image they have of hiring someone like you is, oh my gosh, I can't afford to have someone do this for me. Only celebrities do this.
Yeah,
They
no,
have to play it out.
I have to say that of the clients that I've had over the last 3 years, 95% of them have hired me several times.
And
because
now
it's just a-
but
it's a
you've
relationship.
created. You
That's
also
right.
have created this catalog for them. That's
Right.
like visually they can see.
It's a relationship. I'll get a text in the morning or someone will be at the mall. Doreen, what do you think of this? I go, not so much. Maybe you should try this. Or, yeah, that's fabulous, but try it in a petite.
So you're really actually building a wardrobe for them at the same time.
Right, absolutely. Building the relationship, like the old mama papa stores that we used to have.
And people waited on you.
Building the relationship and building the wardrobe and building their self-confidence.
Right.
Totally.
The program you talked to me about now, visually, you can keep adding to that as they need things. Or if
Correct.
they say they have a special function coming up, then you can add to that.
Correct. That's an electronic lookbook. And, I've photographed those items with those comments. And like we were talking earlier, if I'm out in the mall and I saw something that might look fabulous on a client that I worked with 3 months ago, it's going to come top of mind. I'm going to take a picture. I'll add it to her collection. She gets an email, and she knows, A, I've thought about her. B, somebody cares. C, that's actually going to look fabulous on me. I might take that link and go and buy it themselves.
So she doesn't, you're advising her, you're not with her,
Nope.
but she literally can see it.
Right, I'm in her pocket now.
Oh, that's fantastic. Wonderful.
So it's good.
It's a good service.
It's a very good service.
Now, do you
It's a lot
find
of
you have
fun.
a lot of men? Do you have men?
I do. My background it was in menswear as well. I used to run Simon's Copley Square, which is a men's clothing store, and did a lot of cut, make, and trim. So I know tailoring inside and out. Women's wear, men's wear, designer, ready to wear.
So what are men like when you work with them? They're easier? Do you think they're easier?
Well, men's clothing is a little bit easier. If you were to buy if you're a man and you were to go buy a suit right now, you have 65 choices for size. Because you have short, regular, long, extra long, starting with 36 all the way to maybe a 54 extra long. So if you walked into a Brooks Brothers and needed a navy suit, you have 65 choices. So already you're ahead of the game over us.
Wow.
We have a 4, 6, an 8, a 10. We don't have those choices. And menswear, they've always had tailoring.
Yes,
Women
right.
don't think tailoring is for them. It is.
Oh, well, I think they need it more.
They need it more. I can't tell you how many women look fabulous, but their sleeves are way down here.
Exactly.
Or the pants are too long. You need to have a good tailor. If it's not the store, it could be the dry cleaner, or it could be an old school tailor that you have in your neighborhood. You need to have somebody to do your tailoring. So as for that aspect of men, it's easier. Men are just easier. It's just easy to dress them.
Are they going for the new looks and the bright colors? Are you finding they're doing that now?
They're-
I see so much bright from
They're
them.
a little hesitant. The conservative guy that's in banking or in finance, he's doing the do. He's
Right.
wearing his, but yet there's a lot of flair, whether it's in the ties or the collars or the cuffs. Fabulous shoes now. But guys tend to stay in the same mode for a long time.
They do.
So I find that a lot of my male clients are referred by their wives because they want them to bump it up a little. They'll say, oh, Doreen, he looks fabulous all week long. And then he comes home and he's in his Levi's with the baggy pants and the boat shoes. And so I'll help them with their casual wear.
Right.
And they're very receptive. They need help.
Well, I see that, empowering women is so important. And it's important because It builds the confidence they need to get out in the world, maybe get a better job, maybe to feel so much better about themselves, keep their weight down, to just feel healthy and look good.
Right.
And I think with all the men shopping now, a lot of them felt they had to have their wife, but now they can take you with them.
That's true. That's true. And I recently blogged about that on my website, which is DoreenDove.com. I blogged with the title of, do you dress for the job that you have or dress for the job that you want? I had so much interaction on that one blog because it's important. Women need to dress for the job that they want. They want to create the image for who they want to be, not only now, but in the future. You know, you need to be creative with yourself. We're reinventing ourselves all the time. We need to be current. You could be in a job, and there's always somebody looking.
Right.
You know, there's that 15 seconds to make a first impression. So it's important to be current, and it's important to feel good, and know that there are great possibilities out there and people that can help.
Well, I think one of the aspects of your whole talk and your teaching has been that when I see the young girls today, that they don't really have the ability to put themselves together because all of their friends wear flip-flops regardless. I remember seeing a picture way back with George Bush when flip-flops came in so strong a few years back, and they were at the White House in their little summer dresses and flip-flops, and I was like appalled. And I remember saying something to my staff about those girls should have nylons and a little flat or a little pump, and they said, "Oh, you're so outdated. Everybody wears flip-flops." And I said, "To the White House?"
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's a whole
Yeah, it
thing.
doesn't mean it's right.
It doesn't mean it's
doesn't
right because
mean it's
all
right.
of them do it. I
Right.
think what happens is they get into a trend where their friends are doing it, so they do it too. They don't have that think, well, I'm an individual, so I'm going to dress this way and I'm going to be proper and whatever. They,
Right.
I
And
think
for
it's
some
a
of those young girls, it's just about having a fun afternoon,
right.
taking them out and showing them the possibilities. You know, young girls don't want to shop with their mom. You know, there's all that pressure. So having an extra source to show them, look, this is stylish. It looks great on you. It's flattering. It's just really about showing options.
But so people out there watching that want to get in touch with you, what do they do first? They go to your website?
My website is robust, and there's a lot of great information there. That's either at theorganizedwardrobe.com or DoreenDove.com. And you'll see that there are links for free consults, links for closet edits, shopping services. Pretty much everything you need to know is there. I write a blog. I'm very active on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, The Organized Wardrobe, LinkedIn, all the social media stuff we can do, we do.
We talk about that even with the girls in banking. You know, the banking business, you see so many tellers that just don't know how to dress. Years ago, they used to put them in a blazer or something, which is kind of too staid. But I mean, you could go in and give some classes at the bank.
I do. I do a lot of speaking
you?
engagements. I'll be speaking at Women's Conference, BetterAfter50.com in March coming up. And I speak at the colleges. I speak at networking events. I'll do office lunch and learns, like you mentioned, a bank.
Right.
Well, they'll have me come in and let's talk about how to bump it up a little. And sometimes it's so good for an outside person to talk about the dress code
Right.
and how that works.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's very hard for the bosses to do that.
Very
but having
hard.
you, yeah, exactly.
They, you know, they just don't know what to say or and how to phrase it. And I'm not shy.
Well, we're delighted that you're here, and we're looking forward to hearing more about Doreen Dove and all the great things that you're doing for all these women to have them empowered to feel special, look their best, just to give you a call and
Give me a
have
call.
a great time.
We'll do a free consult.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to all of those out there looking for you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Yolanda.
It's been a delight. Thanks for watching. See you soon.